1,046 days ago, we released episode 10, where we suggested that everything was given back to us. A reset took place. A reset took place around 300 years ago, and this ended up being our biggest episode to this point, currently having over 500,000 views. 28 weeks later, we went back and revisited the subject. We went further. It's been 123 weeks. It's time to go back and bring part 3 to the world. We're told that all inventions were just flying at us in the 18 and 1900s, not by massive corporations, but by random people. Just random hut living, sea biscuit riding, candlelight living people that had nothing. And they were suffering in winters, struggling just to stay alive. Where today, we have massive corporations, yet technology has completely stopped. These 18 and 1900s people, they got phones, they got planes, they got trains, microwaves, electricity, cars, TVs, refrigerators, speakers, radio, computers, internet, batteries, elevators. They got jet engines, they got helicopters, Wi-Fi, cellular networks, GPS, artificial intelligence, just like we showed in episode 139. The 18 and 1900s people got robotics, even things like washing machines, vacuum cleaners, air conditioning, dishwashers, all these things that we all use in our everyday life. They even got cameras. So what happened? Did they run out of all the technology? Because I don't see anything new flying at us anymore, the way that it was in the 18 and 1900s, like we just showed. We see them upgrading things that we've already had. But I don't see hundreds of brand new inventions when we're all supposedly evolving and advancing. Yet the people with nothing, these were the people that gave us everything that we have today. I believe that this is one of the biggest lies ever told. I believe that they already had all of this technology. It was all found from the previous civilization that was here before the 1800s. And the 18 and 1900s, this was the time period of them giving it all back to us. Because when we take a look at the people that were supposedly creating all of these incredible inventions, it's going to blow the whole thing wide open. Remember, just like we said, these inventions were not being created by massive corporations. The TV, for example, was created by a 21-year-old in 1927, and he wasn't backed by a massive corporation. Where the TV idea just came to this guy as a teenager, out of thin air, just inspired by the straight rows in the farm field. Can you believe this? Where are the kids today getting inspired by the farm fields to make the brand new technology of the times? This is not happening, and I don't believe that it ever did. The official narrative, the history that we are all told, is that some random year-old living on a farm wakes up one day, and then a miracle happens. The TV is born. This is a time period where most of America did not have electricity until the mid-1930s to 1940s, where we're all told that in the 1920s, most rural farms in the USA didn't have electricity, and the power lines, they were stopping at the cities and towns. Where did this 21-year-old TV builder live? Just coming up with the idea of one of the most incredible technological advances ever, in the middle of a town called Rigby in Jefferson County, Idaho, where we read where most farms in Rigby, Idaho did not have electricity. Where, just like we stated, rural electrification did not reach most Idaho farms until the late 1930s, 1940s. And this is exactly why the Rural Electrification Act was installed in 1936. Because before 1936, 90% of U.S. farms had no electricity. So now we know that this 21-year-old was supposedly creating the TV by looking over at some corn. And the foundational idea for one of the most complex electronic systems ever built is claimed to have come from a rural farm that likely had no electricity. This is unbelievable. This is shocking. Could you even imagine somebody sitting in Idaho today? I don't care what age they are. If they don't have electricity, can you imagine them watching TV? Let alone inventing it. This is crazy. And this is just the beginning, because something happened with a company named RCA. Welcome to episode 161 of my lunch break. I hope you're all having a great day. And if you're new, welcome. What if your only resolution this year was to get better sleep? Just imagine how much more energy you'd have. You'd handle stress better. Pretty much all of your goals would be easier, right? That's why the smart way to start 2026 is with CBD from CB Distillery. Get this, over 90% of CBD customers say they sleep better with CBD, and that's tough to beat. And when you sleep better, everything feels easier. And CB Distillery, they have options for more than just sleep. Solutions for stress relief, mood, and pain after workouts. You can shop by benefit, so it's easy to find what you're looking for. Everything from CB Distillery is premium quality, third-party tested, and free of artificial dyes and fillers. And they have over 2 million happy customers and 100% money-back guaranteed. So if you're ready to start your year off right, go to cbdistillery.com and use my code MLB for 25% off right now. That's cbdistillery.com. Use code MLB. cbdistillery.com. Thank all of our sponsors over on Patreon. Thank you to flatearthdave.com. You can check out his app, the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac app. I'll put the link right in the description. And you can use my referral code, MLB. If you click the Tartaria button, you'll see the My Lunch Break playlist right here. The app is awesome. Thank you to Rebecca K, Chuck Templeton, Joy Lee, Stephanie Nolan, the Burlesons, Charles Kruger, Dan Woodall, Dale, DJ Clicktrack, Jacob Law, Jim Ribley and Christine Duggan, Kyle Glasscock, PKTFnews.org, Ben Dries NL, Natalie Shippenoff, Melissa Edgar, Biggles, Double Task Homestead, John Adams, Attila Power, Forbidden Gecko Love, Justin Grobner Grubb, Leah Strong, Dakota Dunn, Jason Hochberg, Marie C., Michael Dingyu, Patriot Armory, C3SCOB, SoniaDane.com, James Alt, Jason Press, Miggs, Mark Chapman, Ariana Oates, Nathan Burba, Ski, Beacon of Truth, Liberty's Arborist, Thomas Thorpe Peterson, Zinger Coffee and Tea, Emily Maryland, Curious Cat, Mike D, etc., Dan McGee, Lori Hedvig Johnson, Ellie Annie, Seth Craigo, Glenn Gunderson, Mousie's Mouse Cheese Records, Robert's Brain is Gone, Extreme Reality Check, Late for Dinner, Eolo Goncalves, Blake, Dax Bill Check and Son, Dylan Hugenberg, Robert Petro, Katz Hill, Susie Q, Yark 143, Doc Halo, Brenna Fernandez, Paraduction, Necrodemonics, A&W Kerrigan, Rod Wah, Sweetest of Peas, Road Warrior, Bruce Latour, Codrent, Devin Apocalypse, Ardra Rogers, Brazawayan, Armin Walker, Ivan Apocalypse, Maybell, Laurel L. Burnett, Hoppy John, John and Carlo, Bill, Vince Moreno, Flat Earth Herb, Sven Eric, Ducks MDF TFB, Jeremy and Amy, The Arnolds, Digital Strategy, Earth Daughter, Eha Muir, Harvey, First Class Forklift, Bradford's Donkey Wagon Deluxe, Ernieho, Just Like That, Backyard Rob, DevlinMcGregor.com, D Woods, Sherry Frost, Lynn Thielen, Effie Patriot, Corbin Mechanical, Valhalla Stars, Kent Baki, Breaking Bigfoot, Trevor Cashin, Brendy's Brenna, Sally, Alpha Auto, Christina Kelso, Tahoe Highlands, Consulting LLC, Ty, Rebecca Klung, Tim Skin, ValleyMedicinals.com, The Lady Lacey Show, David Torres, Charmstar, Helena Funk, Once Upon a Time in Tartaria, Lucy, Shiba Shaba in the Darkness. You guys are all awesome and helping this channel out a lot. I cannot believe that story. When I first read it, I was laughing. The mainstream history is just ridiculous. So now let's get into the RCA, a supposed radio company formed in 1919. This is literally the same exact time frame here. And they're also developing a TV, we are told. What are the odds of that? The mainstream history tells us about millions of years. And then all of a sudden, within the same 10 years, two totally different people are just throwing the TV together. Where RCA was funding this Vladimir Zworykin's work. He had already filed early electronic TV patents in 1923, which is 4 years before we're all told that Philo Farnsworth was just imagining TVs in the field and transmitting the first electronic TV image. This is not a coincidence at all, that they're just pinning random people to the same exact invention during the same exact years. Now, did somebody give Philo the technology and allow him to be the creator, and then totally just made up this farm story? I personally believe that that's exactly what happened, because RCA, they were so upset about this that they started fighting over the patent in 1930, saying that Farnsworth, the guy looking in the corn, didn't create the first TV, and that they did. And I want you all to remember this. You don't challenge a patent unless you believe that the technology already belonged to you. So was RCA told that they were going to be the ones to roll out the TV, and the finders handed the patent idea to a kid in the farm instead? Where in 1935, RCA lost to Farnsworth, and this kid from the farm was forever pinned to the TV. I believe without a doubt that there is a group that held all of this technology, and they were going around during this time period and choosing who was going to be the supposed creator of all of these incredible inventions that we all use today. Random people that had no business creating anything, a lot of them being poor, not a massive corporation spending tons of money on research and development like a logical story would go. We're finding that if you were born in the 18 and 1900s, you could go outside and stare off into the corn or into the barn. A stack of hay would also do. Just look at it for hours, and an invention that blows the entire world away will just come to life. But once the year 2000 hits, the evolved and advanced group of people, all of us, we can't figure out how the heck to build a bed from IKEA. No matter how long we look at the box, there's always pieces left over. So let's go further. We see that the airplane is obviously from the old world. It's been here way before the 1800s. It's depicted in Egypt, as well as so many other places. So Wright brothers, it's your turn. We're all told that Wilbur and Orville Wright, they were bicycle mechanics. They had no formal engineering degrees, and somehow they achieved the first powered, controlled, heavier than air flight in 1903. These two bike mechanics did not have a government lab. They didn't have a research program. They didn't have any facilities. But they were just off creating the first powered airplane. And guess what? It never failed ever again after that. They figured out lift. They figured out propulsion. And within a few years, people all over the world were just flying everywhere. All thanks to a couple bike mechanics from 1903. And the crazy part is that it only took these guys 4 years to figure it out. From 1899 to 1903, creating the airplane with a budget of $1,000 to $2,000. This is unbelievable. This translates to about $30,000 to $70,000 today. Are you kidding me? How in the world has nobody ever questioned this nonsense before? So inventions are just flying at us at this point. They have no money. There's no training. There is no help from corporations. These stories are crazy. They're 100% illogical, especially when they didn't get help from anybody. A 2-person research team. There were no outside engineers, no aeronautical department. There were no professors guiding their work. Just a couple of guys and $1,000. And airplanes are here forever. Though there are legends of the Wright brothers calling up Donkeys Incorporated. Apparently Donkeys Inc. had a flight department as well. A group that will be thanked for the rest of time. An incredible group of people and their donkeys. They would ride from town to town, knocking out palaces in the night without a blueprint. Helping the farmer. Just imagine a TV in the corn. 2 brothers build a plane and fly all over the world. We are all so thankful for you. Thank you to all of our badge members, all of our Patreons, and every single subscriber. You are all awesome. And we're closing in on 300,000 subscribers on YouTube now. We're also on Rumble. We're on X, Instagram, TikTok, BitChute, and Spotify if you're looking for even more content from us. We're also on eBay now, where we've sold episode 1 and 2's thumbnail. Episode 1 and 2, those are all done. I'm not going to be going back and selling them again. A signed limited, one of one artifact. We also have the episodes on there as well. All the money from the sale is going to be going right back to this channel. I appreciate all of your support. Now, we all know that the Wright brothers, they couldn't have actually built the plane all by themselves with zero training and basically no money. So I had to keep digging. And I ended up finding a guy named Charlie Taylor, who supposedly built the engine for the plane under the Wright brothers' direction, where he was supposedly working in the back of their bicycle shop. This Charlie Taylor guy was supposedly the cleaner at the bike shop. But then they hired him to build the engine for the first plane. And guess what? Charlie Taylor, he had no formal engineering education. Charlie Taylor had no prior aircraft engine experience. And yet, we are all told that Charlie Taylor was the guy that built the engine for the first plane ever. He executed the machining. And I'm sorry, but I never heard about Charlie Taylor. And I believe at this point, this story is in shreds. I think at this point in time, you would have had to have your fingers in your ears and your eyes closed, screaming la 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 la, to still think that the Wright brothers just randomly made the first plane. Now, of course, you're always free to think whatever you'd like. I've said that all along. I do believe that these are stories for adults at this point. They are completely illogical. They used to work for people that had zero common sense. Previous generations that just believed whatever they were told. They never asked a single question, and they never wanted any verification. And they would get so mad at everybody if anybody said that that story was kind of weird. I think it is kind of weird that they didn't have any training. They didn't have any money. And they used a cleaner from the back at the bike shop to build a vehicle that flies for the first time in human history. Now, we are all told that the hardest inventions humanity has ever produced, from flight to broadcast, worldwide communication, powered transportation, these were somehow easy in the 18 and 1900s, with no budget, no experience. Whereas today, we have unlimited electricity, instant worldwide communication, AI assistance. We have trillion-dollar corporations, and we even have universities that are literally dedicated to research and development. Yet we're not inventing new categories of technology. We're simply updating what the 18 and 1900s gave us, what already existed, what I believe was given back and found from the old world. And this alone should make every single person question what's really going on here in the last 200 to 300 years. These were massive inventions, and they appeared for free basically, and quickly, and with no institutional support. We can't even make a phone with a battery today that lasts for an entire day. And trust me, I don't need a thinner phone. I don't care if it bends, and I don't need any more Gs. 4G was fine, 5G, I don't see any difference. So there are only a few options on the table realistically. Either the 18 or 1900s people, they were just born smarter than all of us. Born with superpowers that gave them inventions whenever they walked into the local field. Jokes aside, this story is ridiculous and extremely unlikely, since we're also told that these people slept in a shed and wiped with their hand. The second option is that progress just randomly stopped, and that's illogical. Every other area of reality, when you add money, when you add people, add better tools, add more communication, and add better education, you get more output, not less. This is beyond proven. The hardest inventions in our timeline, they all came first. And this is backwards. The story that we're all told is that the hardest problems were all solved early, during a time period of dirt roads, no electricity. It's totally inverted. And today, as we all know, our so-called advances are just faster versions of what the 18 and 1900s gave us. They're smaller versions and digital versions. This is called optimization. This is not called invention. It's engineering refinement, not discovery. Where in the world is our teenager that just walks outside and creates a brand new technological category? It is not going to happen because this technology was given back to us. And I don't trust these stories one bit. So In my opinion, I believe there is only one unavoidable conclusion, and that is that they may be all done giving us the old world technology back. Maybe they have nothing left to give us back, or maybe they don't want to show us anymore. It's proven that our technology began flying back at us in the 1800s, and it's recently stopped. Where we can do this for so many inventions. We showed 2 today, and if you'd like me to come back with part 4 one day, let me know in the comments. We see that the radio was invented in the 1890s by a guy that had no formal degree in physics or engineering, no institutional laboratory, no documented research funding, yet he achieved successful wireless transmission. And his system worked quickly and reliably, of course, moving immediately into government and military use. Radio depends on advanced electromagnetic principles. Yet this individual in the 1890s, he didn't have any training, no money, or help. It is the shocking truth that has been here all along, that these individuals were pinned to these old world technologies that were given a story and nobody ever questioned it until now.